Teddy Grahams do not taste like I remember them tasting, guys. I got a box of Teddy Grahams from like an earlier trip this year, and they're not like out of date or anything, but they taste like dog food or something. Like they're aren't good. These aren't good at all. What? They used to be so good when I was a kid. Why do they taste so bad? Dude, I have like the chocolate chip ones, and they taste so bad. Why do they taste so bad? Hold on, let me try again. No. No. I got shit. No, just chocolate chip ones, not like the full chocolate ones. They have like a full chocolate Teddy Graham, right? Yeah, no, this isn't the chocolate one. This is the regular one with chocolate chips in it. And it tastes so bad. This shit tastes like dog food. No offense to Teddy Graham lovers out there, but I'm not one of you anymore. This was bad. Gross. They taste like, okay, it tastes like, check the date. See, the thing is, the date is like, December 14th, 2022 is the expiration date, or the use by. So, like, they're relatively new. They're relatively new. They just aren't good. They just aren't good. Maybe the gram itself tastes different, because I remember them tasting really sweet, and they don't taste. It's like cardboard. Like cardboard with chocolate chips. Did Teddy Grahams change taste? Let's see. Apparently they're gluten-free. Apparently? No, there's no way they're gluten-free. They're not gluten-free. This fucking website lied to me. They're not gluten-free. Shut up, bad website. Mash. Shut up. Yeah, they're not. Nope. 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 These weren't good. Anyways, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello. 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 Wow, hello. How are you? How are you doing? I am glad to be back from my vacation. I think my brain is a little bit more like awake than it was this morning. Yeah. I think it is. I think we finally, we're gonna have a good chat now. Now that my brain is fully woken up. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about my vacation. My vacation. And, we will play some Stanley Parable today. Lurking, yeah. Enjoy. Enjoy it. Yeah, we had fun. We went to the beach with some friends, and went to some like local restaurants in that area too. And it was really fun. I haven't played at the beach with like people in a while. Like been there for a full spent a day on the beach. So that was really fun. We forgot to bring snacks, so like we had to go out and buy snacks, and the line was really long. And next time we will bring snacks. And even though I put on a lot of sunscreen, I still got burned. Yeah, my shoulders got a little red. I burn really easily though, so it's not surprising. It's not surprising that I burned, to be entirely honest. Ugh. But, yeah, put on lots of sunscreen, played in the water. Oh my gosh, Oh my gosh. So when we're in the water, the day that we went to the beach, which was Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. When we went in the water, there was this guy and like he was swimming around underneath me. And I was like, oh god, 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 what's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? And then he popped up out of the water and then boom, he had a crab in his net. Like he got a crab, which was allegedly really close to me. So he like saved my life from this crab. Yeah, it was really nice of him, to be honest. I was surprised. I was like so anxious when he was swimming around me, but he was just trying to catch this crab. So yeah, that was really fun. We had a little snack. What else? What else did we do? What else? Oh, we went to a really cool music store. Really cool music store. They had like lots of stuff, but they were showing us like the back rooms that they're like working on right now, which are gonna be like vocal lessons and mixing and piano and drum rooms and things like that. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I will hydrate. And so they're showing us that, but also so this place is like was rented out. It was something different before. I don't even remember what this place was before, but there's like a staff bathroom, and in the staff bathroom there's a shower, and in the shower someone airbrushed a naked lady, like fully nude, like very detailed airbrush in the shower of a naked lady. Like it was like really good art actually. Like it was like someone took a long time to airbrush this naked lady into this bathtub. Like anatomically correct too. Like very naked. Yeah. Airbrush. Like what? What? So that was a thing. And also we had some really good pizza and tried some really good mixed drinks too. One that I tried gin, actually, the liquor gin. I tried gin, which actually I don't mind too much. I found that I didn't mind it too much. What kind of gin did I have? It was like fancy. Hold on. It was Empress. It was Empress gin. I guess that's not too fancy. It's a pretty big bottle for that much. But yeah. It was Empress gin. Mixed with some things that were made really tasty. And what else? Oh yeah. After the beach, we like went back and we showered. That was because I just had so much seaweed in my bathing suit and sand and stuff. And then thank you. And then we went and cola time. I wish I had conch, but I don't have any. Not at my house anyways. I have to go out to get it. But yeah, so then we went out and we had dinner at this place. And oh my god. Okay, so you guys know that I'm like really weird about food, right? Like a lot of food anxiety. Hi, AJ. I have a lot of food anxiety. And so I got a Caesar salad because I wanted to try. It had this vinaigrette, this orange vinaigrette something or other. I was like, I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna get a chicken Caesar salad because most of the food there was fish and I don't eat any seafood really. So it really, there's that or chicken tenders, and I didn't really want chicken tenders. So yeah, so I'm like, no Caesar dressing, add the vinaigrette dressing. And the guy was like, yes, got it. And so then when it came with this creamy dressing. And I was like, well, sometimes vinaigrette, ironically, is sometimes there's like a creamy Italian. Is what I thought. I thought it was gonna be like a creamy Italian dressing. And so I asked Sonk, I was like, hey Sonk, can you try this dressing for me, please, to see if it's a vinaigrette or if it's the Caesar? And so he was like, he tried it and he's like, oh, this is the vinaigrette. It has like a little sweet onion taste to it. It's the Italian or whatever it was. And I ate it, and then one of the other people with us was like, oh, let me try how's the dressing? I know you got the special dressing. And I was like, yeah. So I let her try it and she was like, that's Caesar dressing. And I was like, no! And I got played. I ate Caesar dressing. And then I had to eat gum and like wash my mouth and stuff. Because I get so food anxious. So it was... yeah. And this is exactly... Wait, hold on. This is exactly how I felt afterwards. I felt like I was dying. I was like, I need to drink a lot of something that tastes different and to get this taste out of my mouth. And I had gum in my bag, luckily. I have that usually just in case of emergencies like this. But yeah. So I ended up being really food anxious for the rest of the night. But luckily, that was kind of like the last thing, really, that we ate. And then we went and played mini golf. And guess who got second out of 8 people in mini golf? It's me. It's me, the wolf who played golf with your friends alone just the week before. Yeah. Certified golf with your friends champion. The single player, the golf with your friends champion, the Swittx stream. So yeah. That was good. I got second place. I got a hole in one on one of the things. I got a hole in one. I'm so good at golf. Except for I'm not really, but I'm okay at it. I'm not. I could be worse. I could be worse at golf. So yeah. I was really good. I'm proud of myself, honestly. I even have the little slip to... Yeah, cracked at golf. Nobody invite me to a golf with your friends tournament. I'll wreck you. Please invite me to a golf with your friends tournament. I really want to play golf with your friends. Please. So yeah. It was good. It was fun. Except for I also... So I had washed my hair and straightened my hair after the beach before we went out for dinner. We went out for dinner and we were sitting inside, and then we go out for golf. And did you? I love golf with your friends. It's one of my favorite games. Arashi, thank you. I love golf with your friends so much. And as we were golfing, everyone was noticing that my hair was getting more and more poofy because my hair gets really frizzy. I have very naturally frizzy hair. And so as we were golfing, because we were in a very humid place, it just got more and more and more and more and more and more frizzy. And everyone's like, your hair is so, like, it like doubled. It easily like doubled or tripled in volume because of how frizzy it gets. Like, it's wild. My hair doesn't hold curls, but it does frizz really bad. So yeah, at the end of the night, my hair was just like a mess. Going Super Saiyan. Yeah, I actually don't know if I would rather it frizz or stand straight up. Personally, I don't know. But either way, it did. Yeah. We ate good food most of the weekend though, aside from the Caesar dressing fiasco. We had good food. Everyone had a good time and had good drinks. We were only there like really 2 full days. We got there like halfway through Friday and left like halfway through Sunday. So we didn't spend too much time there. It was just like a weekend trip. But it was nice. I think like we really just ate and went to the beach mostly. And played the golf. That was mostly it. It was fun. One of my friends who was on the trip with us, she's also a content creator, and she's very funny. And so we kept making this joke that it's not gonna translate. The joke isn't gonna translate well here, I don't think. But every time we would do anything, I would look at her and be like, oh, of course, my queen. Let me help you with that. Or like, oh, fantastic shot, my queen. You are so good. I believe in you, my queen. Like things like that. And then Song said something about making me slow down on drinking conch, not drink as much conch. And he was just like, my queen, I will never let him disrespect you like that ever again. And I was like, oh my god, my queen, thank you so much. It was funny. It was a funny bit. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the thing to note about her and I don't know if I can use her name, so I will call her I'll call her Hinata, like the anime character. We'll call her Hinata. So Hinata and I, I'm only using that because I was thinking about one of her favorite characters. She really likes Naruto. So Hinata and I are like two people who will like religiously stick to a bit. Like if we think something is funny, we will just drill it into the ground until it's no longer funny anymore, and we're still doing it because we're fucking stubborn. Like before the My Queen stuff, we went to the beach and we pretended to play mermaid. On the beach, like we were like 7 years old or something. So I would like go under the water and then boom back up, and then I'd be like, what's your mermaid power? And we did it like the whole time. It was so funny. It was so funny. Yeah. So between that and the My Queen one, I'm sure everyone was so tired of us. They were exhausted of dealing with our bullshit. But yeah, we both know how to stick to the bit. Also, Hinata and I matched bathing suits. We both wore black one-piece bathing suits together, which was really nice. It was really nice. So yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. We had we had me and Song and then 3 other friends with us during the trip. And then we met up with some local people that we knew, and it was really nice. Yeah, it was really fun. I brought 3 manga and 1 book thinking that I would like have more time, but we totally did not have as much time as I thought. 2-ish days is not really that much time. So yeah, we just kind of vibed. The whole time. Yeah. 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 It was very fun. It was a very fun vacation. Very fun vacation. A couple of people with us had previously had COVID, and they were like, you know, the reason probably why your brain fog is so bad is probably because of you still having like COVID brain. And I was like, you know what? That explains a lot. That explains a lot, actually. So probably still have that, but I'm hoping that tomorrow will be a more productive day. I know I have 2 streams tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna be collabing with Gray, and we're gonna 1v1 each other in prop night. I don't even know if you can do that, but we're gonna find out. It's gonna be really fun. And then tomorrow night is Needy Streamer Overload. Yeah, we're gonna play that together. So those games will be really fun, but I'm really excited about tonight's game. Like, I've been wanting to play Stanley Parable for many times, for a long time. Food delivery service. Song brought me mac and cheese. The gift of mac and cheese. I don't want you guys to hear it. It sounds lewd. It sounds so lewd! I want to eat this, but I also don't want you guys to hear it. Huh? So yeah, I'm gonna eat this really quickly, and then we will play Swittx Parable. Are you guys looking forward to any of the games in particular this week? I know some people were really excited to for me to get back to Tales of Arise. So I really hope you can't hear my food. Also, okay, so I was vacationing in a spot that does get like hurricanes, and we were looking at these houses that are being built that did not have a concrete structure at the bottom. And you know what? You know what the development's name was? Margaritaville. It was a Margaritaville community, and they were all made out of wood. So, while I hope for the best, really I feel like that is poor planning on their part. Maybe, you know. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. I'm trying to eat this really fast so that way you can get on with the game. I've never played. Has anyone in chat played Stanley Parable before? I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to speed run this meal. I'm speed running this meal any percent. Eat. I'm Bill. What you up to? Jump. With Zatsudan, but instead it's just me eating. Where's my Fall Guys? You know, I haven't played Fall Guys in a while. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while. Damn. Hi, Wee. Hello, Wee. Hello, Wee. Man, I hope Wee-Wee's having a good day. Okay. Freedom. Do you ever eat so fast and you don't chew very much, so then you feel like a pain in your chest from eating too fast? That's me. That's me right now. She just walked up, stood on top of me, stuck her face directly in front of Austin's, and then turned around and walked away. Well, she had something to say about that. She had something to say. Maybe she's the Fall Guys. Maybe she's the Fall Guys all along. You didn't get enough air. Oh. Is that what that feeling is? Weird. Weird. Alright. Cough, cough, cough. Okay, alright. You all ready? Are you all ready for Swittx Parable? That's why you're hurting way too fast. Probably, that makes sense. That makes sense. It never says I was a smart wolf. Okay. Opening up Steam. M. Okay. I bought Stanley Parable a while ago and then had to go and re-buy the Ultra Deluxe version. Isn't that so sad? So I have both the Stanley Parables. Okay. Down here. What the hell is that noise? Is that the game? Could be the game. Who knows? Alright. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready, chat? Are you ready for Stanley Parable? This is my first time playing. Let's see. Yeah. No spill. No spoils, chat. Okay. Oh, yes. English subtitles, I think, are best. Stanley Parabolum. Have you played it? No, I haven't played it before. Until a computer is barely visible. I think that's... I think you guys can still see. It's barely visible there, right? Right. Well, there we go. That's good. Okay. Oh, it is 8. Oh. Okay, in 30 seconds it will be 8:33. So we'll just time it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bing, bing, bing. Nice. Waits for the minute to change. Okay. Ready? Oh, cool. I think it's right. Oh, whoa! Oh, the screen. There's so many. It just goes on forever. Whoa! I guess. Begin capitalism. Ever the end is never the end is never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Got his own office, wow.
Number 427's job was simple.
Congrats on your office.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Stumble Guys
Although
stream
others
when?
might have considered it soul Stanley
maybe
relished
next week.
every moment that the orders came in.
Maybe next week?
As though he had been made exactly for this job.
Wow.
And Stanley was
Happy Stanley! Happy Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh?
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
It's okay.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for
no,
him
not
to follow.
Stanley.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened.
Everyone's dead.
This complete isolation. Something
Everyone's
was very
dead.
clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk
there.
and stepped out of his office.
We'll go back. Oh, that's my cue. I should, I guess. What if I... Hello? 429? 428, you in there? Wait, why does 429 have like a glass window though? Is 429 better than me? Is 429 better than me because he gets a glass window? What the fuck? Let me in! Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
No!
mean?
Let me back
Stanley
my
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, well, I guess.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I turned the computer off. Oh shit. Mountain. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me do something real quick. Bring myself over here a little bit. And then... Okay. Alright, we're better. Okay. Oh. We turn that computer off. Well, I guess if there's no one here, we should turn the computers off, right? Save energy. Oh no, someone's quaffling. Wait. I hate Mondays. Yeah, Garfield. Oh, I wanna go up there. Oh, I can't go up there. Sales this quarter. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if I just don't?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
How delightful.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
How delightful. What is the time? It is 11.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room.
I want a gong, please.
So utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Coffee? No coffee. All right.
But eager to get back to business,
yes, back to
Stanley
business.
took the first open door on his left.
I mean, yeah, but like, okay. But I want to do everything wrong. I don't like this narrator. I don't want him to be the one controlling my life. Yeah, chaos.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
You do not die. If you are lying right now, stop. I'm not lying. I'm always telling the truth. We are 2 heads. One of us lies, and the other always tells the truth. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. It will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift. Well, you can't take $5 million away from me. Well, I want to go down there.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
What if they're
that
both
convinced that I
lying?
want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I
Danger
really do want to
everywhere.
help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
They're both lying. Yeah, I think they're both lying. Both of the heads are lying. Okay, I'm a little monkey. Oh, 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 ah, 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 ah.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Red seems a little aggressive. Yeah, blue door time.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through...
Fuck off!
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road
Yeah.
you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Yeah, stinky.
You see? There's nothing here. I
Beautiful.
haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Yay!
Broken rooms, exposed developer
Wow.
textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do not think I put a lot of time into that, because I did.
Okay.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Which one do you want me to go through? Okay. This way.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would
Thank
you
you,
say that the
Arashi.
game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Okay. You're number
Only
one.
one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge.
I can't give you
Here,
multiple.
based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay,
Let's
bitch.
take a look.
Show me what you got. Oh yeah. Ah, the Stanley Parable. Worldwide leaderboard. Uh-huh, yeah. Good old Neil. Huh. Is it gonna... Huh. That's me. How long does it take you to get the correct or complete? No, let's go back this way.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be
Okay.
a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
I would adore
Perfect.
that.
Let me boot it up.
Okay. Delightful.
In this game,
Oh,
the baby crawls
baby!
left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right.
Yeah.
And if he
Who?
reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game.
Okay,
All
hydrate.
about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
Burn.
I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you
Delightful.
for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Can I go into the fire?
Since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain?
Okay.
Let's see.
Mm.
What do we have here?
I'm a gamer, you know. I truly am a gamer.
This seems like it'll work.
Okay, okay.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our
Fires.
backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians
creepy?
below
No,
you from up
incorrect.
high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose.
No.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Who fire watches the fire watch? 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 Who fire watches the fire watch?
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Who fire watches the fire watch?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Ah.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls.
No.
Something with nice,
Let me
big,
go.
insurmountable walls.
I want to go.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
I wanted to get out the walls. Oh.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly
Rocket
what I
League.
had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility
Yay.
that you could get
I'm a
lost here.
worm.
Now this is game
Worm
design.
simulator.
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Oh wait. I'll just go towards the goal. Yeah.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley,
Sports ball.
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think surely we must.
We
okay,
absolutely
Stanley,
must.
here's the ball. Have fun.
I will go in here. Goodbye forever.
What are you
Goodbye. Worm simulator sure was fun. Delightful.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh, you're so far away. I can't hear what you have to say. Filing cabinets. Huh? I'm down again. Beep bop boop boop boop. Doop 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 doop. A beep 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 beep. A beep 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 bop boop. A doop doop boop 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 boop. I wish there was some music, some like backrooms music. A beep doo 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 doo. A na 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 na. Na 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 na. Oi. Hey, look. I'm doing work. I'm Stanley. Okay, well that didn't do anything for me. I can't do any work here. Ah.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's
I'm the
learned
computer
heavy
man,
cost
Stanley.
that comes with it. He'll
Yeah.
understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the
no,
fear
no,
and the
no, no.
confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean
No,
to
no,
this
no,
world.
no, no, no.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Okay.
Very soon.
Very soon.
I can wait.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You wait. You go ahead and wait. The end is never. The end is never. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
All right. All right.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We shall do what he says this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
All
doors,
right.
he entered the door on his left.
We will play by his rules this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Termination
Feeling a wave
Tuesdays.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Cabal? Group. Oh no. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. What to do about 432? Don't tell 423 about me meeting. Yeah, most of all. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write new day's agenda. Refleet. Gym. Future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Targets. Push for funding for R+D new coffee machine. Standardize graphs 40 times wide. Get Chris out of broom closet. Synergize papers. Not cost efficient. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire paper guy. Fire paper synergizing guy. Who move my desk? Please keep the targets on topic. Wow. Huh. Colored in segment. Nice. Okay, well. Dun dun dun. Okay. Up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whoa! Wowza! I could be the... Hello? Oh, he will see you in a few. Please go sit by the chair. Don't sit on the chair, just sit by it. Bring, 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 bring. Okay. Whoa.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I am the most
unraveled,
expensive
Stanley
boss.
wondered in disbelief who
No, you
orchestrated
can
this.
only sit next
What
to
dark
it.
secret was being held from him?
The boss will
What he
fire
could not
you.
have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons
Yes.
on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Passageway. Oh, it's the wall cotton candy. I guess. Downsy woundsies we go. Woofy woofy. Loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Little bit
It was a
peculiar.
stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But there's so many choices in this game, and I could just... We're gonna escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay, do it, coward. I have life insurance.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Stanley is no bitch. Stanley is no bitch.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Incredible, yes. Yay! Woohoo! Woohoo! Well.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I cannot be flattened. Oh, I could be flattened.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Incredible. Thank you. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Yes.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Huh. Office computers. I do love museums. Yeah, delightful. Oh, this is a delightful museum.
Stanley stood on the roof. Stanley walked over the bridge. Then he pushed the number 8.
Oh.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake.
Get out of here. I'm done with you, you sassy narrator. Leave me alone. Freedom ending. Countdown death. Oh. 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 Not for that yet. Wow. Good job, designers. Dear narrator, will Stanley Parable have infinite quest? How many endings? If Stanley Parable is going to let me go shopping, I hope it will have a fine selection of desert boots. How do you make a JRPG? How do you make it the worst game ever? What's the difference between a duck? How is game going? I hope it's good or better than the first one from a cool man. Are you a rock? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Can you tell me what the significance of the number 1112800 is? No. I will probably not remember. The thing I want you to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? Asking the narrator. On a scale of Max Aaron's how surreal is this game? Are you born with a magnificent voice, or did you bargain with a magician? And finally, what is Stanley's last name? Wow. Wow. Doo-ba-doo-doo. Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. This is a lovely way to showcase everything. I'm standing on that. Huh. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. All right. Beep bop bop boop. Beep bop bop boop boop. This is the exit. All right.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control
The
one
real
another.
narrator.
How they both wish to be free.
Okay.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Yes.
No, perhaps
Oh,
not.
no.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Oh. Okay, well, I thought I could see it, but I guess not.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Hi.
Whatever you
Hi,
do,
Crazy Jen.
choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Splat. Death. Death. Hi, Sam! Doing well. How are you? I'm sick. No! I hope you feel better. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh.
What could it mean?
What
Stanley
did it
decided to
mean?
go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Splat.
he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Just
left.
chillin'. Mad chillin'. I was gone for a bit. What did I miss?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I ignored the
Feeling a wave
narrator.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
Okay, but what if I
coming to
go
a staircase.
down?
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, what if I go down? Oh,
But
a car.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
What if I stand behind this
No,
car?
Stanley said to himself, this
What
is
if I stand
all
behind this
too
car?
strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
This is all a dream!
This is all a dream!
Hooray!
Oh, What a relief Stanley felt
Yes.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Yeah.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to
I
go back to my
suppose.
boring real-life job
Yeah.
pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Lucid dreaming.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
This is real
How
life.
could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if
I think
he's
they call
asleep,
this
he
the
doesn't
Stanley
have to take
parable.
responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Bonk.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Wake up!
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press
Wake
of the
back up,
mattress on his back,
Stanley.
the fresh
Wake up,
air of the
Stanley.
world outside this one. Let me wake up,
Let
he
me
thought to
wake
himself.
up, Stanley.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job.
Good morning, Stanley.
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
He wants to be a button pusher.
I want my apartment and my
I'm
wife
in control.
and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Normal.
I am normal.
Normal.
Everything will be fine.
Normal.
I am okay.
Nah, back to bed. Good bed. In the same place.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, well. I guess that solves that.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like
Mariella?
another.
Huh?
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming
Oh,
to
no.
himself, and then collapsed
Stanley,
dead on
no!
the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered
hair
the
looks like
strange
feathers.
man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
Yeah.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
Normal.
I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and
Must be
what isn't.
nice. Must be
It was
nice.
comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there,
Oh,
staring down at the
no.
body. And then she turned and ran.
Well, I suppose that's understandable. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
He sounds like Winnie the Pooh, maybe. Bye, Mariella.
When Stanley
Ciao.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The one on the left, yeah. We're going to
Yet
the
there was
one on
not a
the
single
left.
person here either.
Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Can I go into the restroom? Oh! Oh, how delightful. I can use the restroom here. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course, so that's a lovely purse. Extreme bathrooms! I suppose there's nothing I can do. Alright, well, I got to go inside the bathroom. Oh! Oh, that painting is delightful. Impeccable taste, sir. Business strategy. Oh, no! Not the business strategy. Amazing shot. What if I go in here? Bing bong! I wanna go up. Let me go up. How far up can we go? Oh, yeah! Let's go! Stanley! That panda is my. Really? Are you? That's so funny. Yeah. Okay. What a lovely little time. No? Well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
I tried to remember the
He
number.
began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be?
Yeah?
In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret
The
that lay
terrible
buried
secret.
below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
Whoa.
keypad, Stanley happened to input the
How
correct
wacky.
code by
How
sheer
delightfully
luck.
wacky.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Well. Oh, accidentally. Can't tell. I think we're going down. As we are supposed to. Bink bonk.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep, okay. Ah, numbers. Dear diary. Attending to my husband has been easier as I was afraid was afraid it would be. Yet there is days when it requires more strength than usual to keep me going. I'm still getting increasingly more sick. Nothing will change that. But it's not so bad. Really, all I have to do is dote on him and try to anticipate his desires. He's happy with me. No abuse or anything. Sure, it's not as if I like him. He's ugly. He's an ugly 40-year-old man who only cares about politics and never tells me anything. Love, well, that's certainly no concern. I don't know where I ever got the impression that was something that could ever happen in a marriage. I thought I was something from the past. Well, I was young before I got put into stasis. It must have been a mistake of childhood. But so long as I do as I'm told, I'm not mistreated like I was by my sister, and sleeping with him feels good. I really hope that I don't get pregnant soon. I don't want that to stop. Doing that is really the only thing that makes me happy these days. Well, that and Jehua talks with me. She's nice. She keeps me company. Huh. When I stay up for his return, she fetches servants to take me to bed. On a short history about the relationship between Poland and Austria-Hungary. Words. Good questions about bucket filling. Recommendations for the Oversight Committee. Interviewing and interrogation techniques. I guess I have to press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
What horrible secret?
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Well, alas, I do not have any other options. Employee observation protocol. 2C. Can't really read it that well.
Now the monitors
Wow,
jumped to life.
fired.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom means nothing. CCTV. I'm surprised the boss man has one. Well, what was that? 3:30. What was that? I want to see. Whatever. Interesting. Oh, that's the top one. Interesting.
This mind control
Mind
facility,
control
it was
facility.
too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
He was
Was this the
satisfied.
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No.
Capitalism.
He refused to believe it.
Employee
He
pirates.
couldn't accept it. His
Yar.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Hey, Johnny! Hey! Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Offline.
labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
wanna do
over
the
another
thing.
human life.
I
For
want
he would dismantle the controls
I want to
once
control
and
everyone.
for all.
I want to become the controller. You're not gonna let me control it? To console disabled. Mind control status offline. Huh? What's in there? I don't know. I don't know what's in there. Oh, wait. Okay, I cannot go this way. What if I want to go down here? I cannot. Okay. Alright, alright. 2. 1, 2. Hmm. 3. This is 5. How you doing, Johnny? How you doing? I'm a really good worker. Oh, this one up here. Probably 4. Well, what if I would like to go in here? I may not. Yeah, I'm a really good worker. That's me. Best worker. Awaiting inputs. Playing bully? Hell yeah.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I
After
did.
they kept you enslaved all these years,
I
you go and
did.
you try to take control of the
You're
machine
welcome.
for yourself. Is
See,
that what
I'm
you
Employee
want?
of the Month.
Control?
Yay! Employee of the Month!
Stanley,
The bully was very fun,
I really
even
do.
though
But
frustrating.
you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
I'm a worm.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about
I'm good at this.
about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
My co-worker.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
I'm good
but
at
I'm
this.
enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Yeah, that's
These
me.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea
I'm
what
a
your purpose in this
gamer.
place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
Okay.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock.
Goodbye.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces.
Do it.
Will you cling desperately to your frail
I
life?
dare
Or will you
you.
let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Bye-bye. Boom. Yeah? 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 Oh.
All of his co-workers were
joy.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
What
to the
could
meeting
it
room.
mean?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps. Perhaps he has simply...
When Stanley came to a
missed a
set of
memo.
2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Does something happen if you really help that baby for 4 hours?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Okay.
Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Okay, well.
So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, nice. This is great.
Feeling soothed and
Yes.
rejuvenated, Stanley
Thank you,
calmly
narrator.
walked forward into the opened
Thank you,
passageway.
Thank you. I have definitely gone into the open passageway. I went down. All right. I will do it right this time. I will do it as
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. Okay, let's just go to the facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes. Because I'm really good at this video game.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Not
and
his
Stanley, one of
colleagues.
them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
No freedom. I have worked in a
This
few places
mind
like
control facility, it was too horrible to believe.
Terrible.
It couldn't be true.
Absolutely
Had Stanley
horrible.
been under someone's control all this time?
Miserable.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Happy or sad
or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
All right, I did it. I did as you please. I did as you please.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes.
Oh, he has won.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I have no options. Unfortunately, and alas.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
An open world game.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, congrats, little Stanley. Little Stanley. Beat the game. Except for you didn't.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
New content. Bum, bum. Wow.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
I love this.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Delightful.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Yay! It's a small world.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
What a delight.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Yeah, jump, jump. Yeah. Yeah, jump time, jump. Jump, jump. I no longer can jump.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
We could jump in that circle.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley,
Delightful.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Not my
It's
fault.
just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new
I'm
content?
thrilled
If
with
this
the
is
jumping.
new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait.
Let me out,
There's
let me
more.
out, let me out.
Very good. Yes.
Very good.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for
Okay.
whatever it is.
Oh, okay. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect
The
for
new
their fan base
content.
rush a cheap expansion to market for no
Yay.
reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and
Yeah.
hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I'm aware. Oh. Everything is a little bit different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Yeah? Okay. I like him now. We're friends now.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a
Whoa!
look.
We could have a meeting in here and make copies.
I call it the Memory
The
Zone.
memory
It's where I've
zone.
been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow. The memory zone. The memory zone. Zone, sweet
You
zone.
see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
Wow.
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Audience award. This is lovely. The British Academy of Film and Television Awards awarded to Stanley Parable. Good times. Clicks. Linguists identify 15,000-year-old ultra-conserved worlds. Oh. Huh. Smile because it happened. Their first dollar. The demo, the Stanley Parable demonstration. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement. Nominee. New video game releasing today. Wow. Wow.
Je suis dans la mémorisation.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Wow.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Okay.
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
Every
That's
game.
how grand and all-encompassing the
Oh,
original
delightful.
Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them.
All of
and
them?
now, it's nothing.
Oh no.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Tasteful nostalgic. It was good. It was good. What's this? Huh? Well, I can't go up there. Hi, Carney! Top 10 memories from the Stanley Parable 2013. I remember. Wow. People play games because what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Didn't need new content.
It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Carpet. Repeatable carpet textures.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Yay!
What's this? What's down here?
Steam
Oh, no.
reviews.
God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't
Yeah, yeah.
they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Stanley Parable has always been very meta. We just get more of it with the new content.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Yeah.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. But dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Oh.
I feel like a failure.
Oh no.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people.
Always not recommended.
And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
Okay.
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards. The deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years until just yesterday. Here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
Tell me more.
It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. Got the logic of elimination. Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Yes.
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
A treatise?
Or maybe a manifesto.
That's a pretty...
Look, I'll
that's a
outline
lot.
it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your brief gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto.
That's a little much.
But now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label
I
on
think
this
that's
one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Agreed.
But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander
Little
sort
bit
of
more,
tone? It has
yeah.
a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor.
That's a good way to do things.
It is an unimpeachable strategy,
That's
Stanley.
a good strategy.
It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
I'm sure.
All right,
go ahead.
Here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise.
Okay.
Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say
Yeah,
about this,
fuck Cookie
and whether
9.
they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording,
Yes.
perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review
don't
in
know.
the first place.
I never
guess
tried.
I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely.
Probably.
Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review.
That'd be so
that
nice
the
of
feature
them.
is not widely
That's
abused.
true. That's very true.
Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of, this game is the best game.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Let me start over. How about this?
All right.
From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Did I listen to? Where'd you go? Perhaps I've listened to him too much. Well, there's nowhere to go. I guess the skip button again.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
You
But
should
at
become a
any rate,
streamer.
I do suggest that we not press the button again.
I tried
think
not
the skip
to.
button has been aptly
I think so
demonstrated,
too,
and we
yes.
can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yes, at one
I
point.
do feel quite certain that there was one here before.
Perhaps.
How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place?
Hoping.
I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there?
Alright, we're gonna skip you.
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting long. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. What, 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah?
I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here,
Just
not a
sitting
single
here.
person to speak with. And you'd think that that's
Aw.
just how it's always been, right? Me talking,
That's
you
true.
saying
I'm
nothing.
saying a lot, actually. You're just
Would you
ignoring
think
me.
that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that
It's
I
now
needed to know that
dried
someone was
herbs.
listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I
Parsley.
needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
You're
Maybe.
not. You're not real. Goodbye. Nothing's real. Everything is fake.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
How much
I stopped
time?
keeping track after
Wow.
a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire
No.
year? Let me describe it for
Okay.
you. To begin with, there is
Okay, goodbye. Huh. Oh. I suppose. Oh. I don't like that. Goodbye.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the
It
jokes?
is a good
Where are
game.
the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their
So
pitiful
salty.
demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability.
Go off,
it's the
Queen.
unwillingness to examine with
Go
an
off, Queen.
uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences
No
for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing.
Nothing.
We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then,
Demand.
because it was said, because it was spoken, now it
So
simply
salty.
has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us.
Goodbye. More.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is
It's
never
never
the
the
end,
end, it's never the 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 end, it's never the. Water's getting in here. Huh. Investigation. More. Oh. So odd. It's decaying. How much more can we make it decay? Ah. Huh. More. Oh wow. screen here now. Oh. Nice, nice. How much more can we go? What even happened? It was so lovely. Narrator unalive. Alright. Those are noises that are not concerning at all. In fact, skip forward even more. Oh, well, I suppose I can go this way. Ah. Shall we take a little trek? I want to stand on this. I cannot stand on it. I'll just go out towards sand. Adventure. New content. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never...
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Yes. New content. Well?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Well, I do trust you. Oh, forward this time. Oh.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Oh, where are you
taking
taking
it? Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh. Two. Taste the sequel. Alright, well, I can't go through this.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
True.
Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yes. They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Boring sections of the cool red section of the chart. 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1 plus 1. Every pause button is normal. Is a no Roman numeral too. Oh. Alright. Have fun and good sleep in bed. Good night, Mike. Thanks for coming by. More tablespoon. The Stanley Parable. Better, the Stanley Parable. Paradigm shift. Synergy. Brick and mortar approach. Envelope client-centric marketing. Color red. Leverage. Holistic value. 2. Wow. Delightful. Very good.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Crap. The ultimate sequel! Yeah, true. Meeting at 2 p.m. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Alright. You are the sequel. This way, to the show floor. Damn, I can't go that other way. New features. New content. Okay, lovely. There's, yeah. I don't even know if I watched the second one. I think I've only seen the first 11.
Here we are. Go on.
Whoa!
Try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket. Exclusive. The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Enjoy new features.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim
I will be
to
Jim
really
now.
simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I am Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
I am Jim.
Sleeping and waking as Jim.
I am Jim.
Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim.
Jim.
Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
No, I am Jim.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really,
I'm
truly
so
Jim
right now.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I'm Jim.
Jim.
Wow!
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That
What
was
a
you.
delight,
The
I'm
button described you.
Jim.
Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh yes, I'm
It hits
Jim.
even
That's
harder
me,
the second
baby.
time.
I'm
If this were the only new feature in the
Jim.
Stanley Parable 2, it
I'm
would still be
Jim.
worth the money. Let's take a
Absolutely.
break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Understandable. What a delight being Jim was, though. You know? Weren't you delighted in being Jim with me?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
No screenshots. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The baby is all grown up. Oh, let's go! Bankruptcy! Woo! Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Tween shaders. New feature, new content, new ideas. The button that says layer, jump circle. The infinite hole. Wait, hold on. The reassurance bucket. No screenshots. Merchandise. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Yes. Let's go this way to the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical. that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart.
Oh, it's there.
True. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yes.
Yes, the bucket
We
is
love
the
the bucket.
perfect solution.
The bucket
Come
is our
on,
favorite.
Give it a try.
Okay, what is a light?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, well,
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I can take the bucket with me. Alright, well. I am now Jim with a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh. I love Get Well Someday. Oh, but Stepnies. Happy birthday. Happy 12th birthday, Stepnies. Oh, that's difficult. I think Get Well Someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Oh, no.
Happy 12th birthday, Stepniece,
oh,
it is.
no.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well.
No.
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I want a jump circle. I wanted to do the jump circle. Okay. Ah, thank you. Free achievement. Merch. Settings World Champion. Epilogue. Infinite Hole Exit. Collectibles. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. 1 out of 6. Lovely. What if I want another one? Will you allow me to go for another one? No.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah. Simply tragic.
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
But what if I want another one? Infinite hole, it won't end. I want this achievement. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps, it just works. Okay.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully
some random
broken.
vampire.
I'm not a wizard, Stanley,
Hello.
but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous
We
fans
do love
all
the
over
narrator.
the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature.
We do love
Gamers,
him.
we hear you, and I promise it will
Gamers.
happen.
Gamers. Gamers. That's me, I'm a gamer. Well, okay. I stand... Me too. Even though at the beginning of the game I really was...
What else?
Not
What other
fucking around
exhibits
with
haven't
them.
we seen yet?
There's one to the left up there, but I don't want to go to that one yet. That is new. I'm gonna go up here. I wanna go to Settings World Champion. Okay, well. Guess I can't. Sad. Sad. We'll go to the hole that never ends. Holy moly. Team Edward. Oh. Opening rim surrounding area, depth infinite. Infinite hole. It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's
Whoa.
an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole
Lovely.
that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Yes. Infinite. Yay. Going there forever. I'm team fuck off with that crap.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say
Yay!
so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Ba-ba.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button
Why?
to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? Does it bother you that I'm doing this? You said it was an infinite hole.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
Oh my gosh, I got a sunburn this
It's
weekend.
an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
I got one
Well,
too. I
that
hope
sort
that
of
you have some
depends on
aloe or
your
something.
definition of infinity. From one perspective, great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Just in time. Just in time. A not so infinite hole. Oh no! Like I'm working. Can I find all of them though? Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any aloe either, which was really a mistake on my part. Not grabbing some, but that's okay. You heard Jim in the game. You're right, I did.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yes.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. We don't know quite where it's going to be yet. Understandable. Jim! We are Jim! I'm so thrilled to be Jim. Okay, well, I think we've done a good job. We shall go to the exit now. We've thoroughly investigated the two. Gym Extreme, yeah.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Who could that be? Is this Jim? New mug. This must be Jim.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know
they're
it's not
quite good.
exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in
there
there
has to
somewhere.
be.
Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Lovely. Lovely. Swittx Jim.
Okay. Are you ready?
My OTB.
Here it is.
Swittx Jim.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Lovely.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
All right.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
I feel good
Here we
about it
go.
too.
Version 2.
Oh.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the
I wish
first
I could yank the guy by the
I wanted
waist
fans
and
to
shut him
love
over the
it.
kid.
No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their
Random
own.
vampire
They would need the structure and the
ex-narrator.
gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Perhaps.
Tastefully, of course.
Tastefully,
With
of
respect.
course.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that
Yes.
says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the
Absolutely.
Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he
Lovely.
pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk,
Yes.
telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what
Yeah.
employee 427 did
Jim, that was
every
Jim
day
backwards.
of every month of every year. And although
Hydrate, thank you.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that
Stanley
the
was
orders
thrilled
he
about
gave,
it.
as though he had been made exactly for this job.
This job.
Stanley was happy.
Yes. Thrilled even.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Press
Something
10
that
for
would
63
forever
milliseconds.
change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
You'd be amazed at the answer.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Believe it or not, I'm a werewolf.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I am a
No
werewolf.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That's me. I'm everyone's idiot werewolf older sister. Jacob. Please.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I want to see the baby this time. I want to see
This
the
was
baby.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
All
admire
right,
it.
show me your employee lounge.
Wow. Yes. This
Oh,
room.
drink.
What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Coffee nut.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get
Yes,
back
back
to
to
business,
business time.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I will not. I should be hating you and all, but I fail to see.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ding, ding, ding,
Look,
ding.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on
It's
the
okay.
wrong foot
It's okay.
here.
We're good.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines.
Oh, what a
Remember,
delight.
no reward for collecting all of these.
Yes.
Only the intrinsic pleasure
Yes.
of a job well done.
Yahoo!
You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of
Wonderful.
these beautiful figurines.
Might be a part of the younger thralls. I don't understand the animals. There
Now
should
listen
be
carefully,
none.
this is important.
There should be none.
Stanley walked through the red
should-
door.
I want the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
The blue door.
All right, fine. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never
Yes.
supposed to be here in the first place.
Well,
Broken rooms, exposed developer
I've done a good
textures.
job
Is
finding
this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help
Hard
me
agree,
here,
there should be
Stanley.
no-
Help
yeah.
elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have
Just
made this
because I
game
like garlic
better?
doesn't
What
mean
did
that
you
I'm
want to see?
I'm hostile to
Vehicles?
vampires.
Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give
Okay.
me some feedback.
Let's go.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stan. Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Now, tell me about your experience
Sprinkles.
with this new
nom, nom, nom,
version.
nom.
Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see,
Yeah,
I
good
knew I was
job.
onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come
Good
from?
job.
How did I know the game needed a third
Because you're a
door?
genius.
Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from,
Garlic is
except
my
that
favorite.
I felt it in my soul. You
Wow.
can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Oh, okay, well.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh, there's the scoreboard once again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep
No.
walking through doors? Again,
no,
honest
no,
answers,
no.
please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing.
Yes.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Let me boot it up.
Thank you, thank you.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family
I thought the
life.
baby grew up.
I thought
the baby grew up.
Will really take notice.
Come on.
But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh, I have to have the bucket. Oh, this is terrible. Goodbye, baby. Enjoy the pits of hell.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for you.
I didn't see the bucket when I went to go grab it.
I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
Okay,
it's
bye.
over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
A child.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory?
Okay, alright. Let's begin it again. Begin again. Okay, here we go. Oh.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
Oh.
If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Wow. What a handy message. Figurine finders committee. Meeting in the meeting room. Oh, bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh. The bucket. Huh. I have the bucket now.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I can find another figurine this way. Warehouse access plan. Produce a 1 plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. The completionist trust the completionist instinct. Places to search. LOL, looks like 427. Hahaha. 5. Here. Okay, so. A large room, lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Maybe near a fireplace. A private but smelly place for an important person. Is this some kind of game? There will be a reward for finding them all. Lies. Who are you? LOL. There will be cleaning of this required. Stop kidding yourselves. How can we find them? I wouldn't just tell us something would happen. Okay. We'll find...
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you?
The aura of jealousy?
No.
It's as clear as day. This broom closet
No.
believes it deserves the bucket.
No!
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
My bucket.
I know how hard it...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Well, I know that there's some in here. Okay, there's one here and then there's one upstairs.
Another
We
miniature
did
Stanley
it!
figurine. This,
Yes!
you know, there really must be
Yeah!
a snappier name
Yes,
for
I hope your
these things.
sunburn
What about
gets better.
Mini stands.
Thanks for stopping
Stanley
by.
things.
Thanks for the alert.
What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines, yes,
I think I like that.
That's
Another
nice.
Stanlerine
Lovely.
under your belt.
Lovely. Okay. Oh.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley
Yes?
figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines
Stanlerines.
and Figlers. What do you think,
Stanlerines.
Stanley?
Stanlerines.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic
Stanlerines.
sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it.
Stanlerines.
I'm sure it will come to me.
Ah.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation,
Please.
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
So,
It would be with him
Okay.
always. The bucket would. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
sheer luck.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Absolute
Was
luck.
the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Clearly. Clearly. Haha.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Yes.
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlerines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Hello?
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them.
True.
And now we have them all.
True.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlerines. None of us can.
Oh, well. A big room full of boxes. Okay, wait. Begin again. A big room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Big room with a bunch of boxes.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the... Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms.
The bucket.
And a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I want...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
No.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah, that's the place to be.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yeah, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the
Oh,
meeting room.
wait,
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I'm sorry, I need to go down. I need to find the last Stanley figurine. The Stanlerine. The last Stanlerine.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time
with it. It's my bucket!
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah! Cat Jam.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley.
Classic.
Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Oh no. I'm gonna have to get rid of my bucket. Oh no. I don't want to get rid of my bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
Oh,
That's why
no.
I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
My left foot.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh no.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
No.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters?
Exactly.
Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
No.
The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
The bucket.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
No.
Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry
No. Not the bucket. The bucket's my friend. I will never give up on the bucket.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
My bucket is the only thing I love. My bucket is the only thing I love. That's it. Just me and my bucket. It was worth it. It was worth it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Yes. The bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. We will go forth. A large room. Lots of boxes. Bottom text. Where's this one? Underneath. Huh? Huh. Toilet under there. Red. Ooh, there. Hold on. Begin the game again. Once more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was
bucket.
home.
I love my
Stanley
bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Incorrect.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
Incorrect.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no.
No, the
never
bucket
mind.
was wrong.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Right.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and
Over
he
there.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed
I want
blindly.
to. Okay. Yay!
Now pick up the phone.
Okay, Bucket. Bucket is our friend.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was
Yes.
lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press G to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him
Bucket
is
is
just
his
in his
best
head.
friend. Press T to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Jazz. Oh, okay. Cute to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press V first to go back home. Yeah.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now
Bucket
all he cares
time,
about is his
bucket
awful
time,
bucket.
bucket,
This
bucket
stupid
time.
hunk of metal.
Look at that bucket painting. C to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Yeah.
bit sad. I suppose he
doesn't.
doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice
shiny
shine to
bucket.
it.
Believe me, I'm real.
Don't fuck with me.
Yuki!
And anime on my side.
Hi, Yuki! Hi, Ayla! Hello! How was your stream? What'd you do? What'd you do? How was your stream? Wait, hold on. Bucket, 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 bucket! Also, hi, Lucius! Hold on. How was your stream? What'd you do? How was Duolingo? I got the bucket.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
It's a nice bucket.
It's just a little more,
Yeah? How was it? Was it fun?
sturdier, more
Was it fun?
capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
To relive the same day with me over and over again.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
Bucket.
Why do I feel some need to point out
I'm
the ways in which
sure.
it's
I can't play
so
guitar
much
really
more
well
than
'cause
just a regular
it's
bucket?
hard. You have to be very dexterous. To go to home to work, to home to work, to home to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh, bucket. Jazz nights at the bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Bucket. Bucket. Go back to work, Stanley. Bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Bucket. Nice.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Yes. Yes.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
The final
this is doing
one.
something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Yes.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Yeah. Well, I was just carrying this bucket around. I don't know what's back here, but we're finding something. Huh. Gone up this way. Narrator dialogue. Wow.
Okay, this is day number 295.
Wow.
Date number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less
The
sense
bucket!
anything makes.
Bucket, 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 bucket.
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same
The
feeling.
bucket.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so
Bucket.
differently when this bucket
The bucket.
is in my arms.
The bucket.
Why everything feels so...
Bucket.
What do I do with this treasure?
Bucket.
I can monetize it.
Monetize the bucket. Yes, monetize the bucket.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour
The bucket.
with the bucket.
I want the bucket to be mine, I'll pay.
This
Microtransactions
is my
for the
golden
bucket.
ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back.
Ah.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Buckets. Buckets. Bucket. Oh. Bucket. Bucket. Eldritch Bucket Horrors. Beep, 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 beep. I like work. I just hate my boss.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yeah.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're
Yes.
supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh, lovely, yes.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles. Lovely. Where's my bucket, though? Huh? Down here? Ah.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around by the red and blue doors.
Yes.
You did that, Stanley.
I'll
be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Oh, well, thank you. And they were the same one.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
This one. This one.
No. The boss's bathroom was the 4th place you found a
I went down
not the
first.
3rd.
I see.
Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
sorry.
Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the boss's bathroom feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments? Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
Did
Oh,
we?
well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Yes.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my god. The Windows Movie Maker! Incredible. Oh my god. Wow. Did you see it? Did you see it? Wow. I found it behind the boss's office. Thanks for watching.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes. 8 minutes. Dun, dun.
And then, Stanley, we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Yeah. Oh, you are in the present.
And then there was no
You are in the past.
because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Goodbye, Memory Zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen.
Oh, okay.
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yes.
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
All right. Let's go. Let's go.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yes. Ah, yeah. Nice. Good job. Yeah.
Yes. I love that video.
What a delightful video.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A
Good
solid
room.
room.
Solid, yes. Good night, Carney. Sleep well.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Next one. What if we go this way? It won't let us. Okay. We made our decision. We made our foolish decision.
This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too.
Stinky.
The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. Oh, the jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
Yes.
I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
More memories. More memories.
Oh, yes. The 2 doors.
The 2
Who
doors.
could have forgotten that? A classic memory,
That's
this
so
one.
classic, yeah.
And before everything else, there was your
It's
office.
true.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
The
There's
title
something
screen.
I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Huh? Title screen?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was
Wow.
skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason.
Damn.
Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory?
Yeah.
Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We'll do a good job.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I'll play along. That'll be nice.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the
game
bucket's
entirely.
warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Reboot the game entirely. Should I do that? Should I reboot the game entirely? Help, I'm a post-it. Huh. Huh. Reboot the game entirely. Reboot the game entirely. Wait. I missed like a lot of achievements actually. Super don't go outside. Don't play the Stanley variable for 10 years. Super go outside. Huh. It's now 11:09. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock to both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously and just leave the clock set at midnight and call it a day. You're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience, that you're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, the next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. That's cute, what the heck? Begin. I rebooted the game.
This is the story of a man. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Yeah.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
Yeah.
Almost certainly 50 clicks.
Yeah.
No, I'm still not feeling it. You see, now that you've gotten the bucket involved, my
what
standards
the
have gone
fuck?
up. Merely clicking a single door is no longer enough. Now, I want to see you press this bucket against multiple doors. Now that's the kind of thing that merits an achievement. Why don't you put 20 bucket touches into door 417?
Okay, 417. Wow. Where is 417?
Okay, great. Now, go touch the bucket on door 437 a few times.
437?
Yes, now we're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
somewhere. How about door 415? Give it some bucket love.
Bucket love. Bucket love.
Now back to door number 437.
Okay. It will go.
You know, I think the copy machine needs some attention. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now bring the bucket on top of employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great.
Yes.
Now the bucket knows exactly what it's like to be employee 419. Now, let's introduce it to door 416.
Okay.
We've almost got it. Now make the bucket and the copy machine touch again.
Bucket love. The bucket's having such a good time.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 touches of the bucket on door 43. Yes! We did it!
Yay!
That felt amazing. You know, not all buckets will get this kind of experience.
That's
They
true.
don't all know what it's like to slam repeatedly against nearly every door in one section of an office building.
True.
Or what it's like to be employee 419. Buckets may dream of an experience like this, but few can say they've truly lived it. You've given a bucket hope today. Stanley, I'm very proud of you.
Aww. He's proud of me.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, now let's see.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Ah.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Wow.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to
Yeah.
the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all
Let's
along?
go.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes. Bucket guide. Bucket guide. Doing the bucket run. The bucket run. Yay. A little
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty,
what a nice
he
bucket.
would be all right.
What a nice
The
bucket, you know?
is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. Nothing else is here for me. The bucket is.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
We did both wonder that. Both of us. The two of us. Just the two of us.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Oh, no.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Yeah, bucket, no worries. Everything's gonna be good.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
No.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
No way.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do
That's
in the
so
first
true.
place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
That's so
No!
true.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
Into the bucket?
His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could
Me and
trust
my
no
bucket.
one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
Yeah, me and the bucket are turning it off. No more.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
Yes.
Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live. Once they stepped through this massive
Me and the bucket,
the
life
bucket
together.
wanted to learn to roller skate.
Aw.
Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
All right, Stanley.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
That's pretty cool.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Me and my bucket, please,
Was
no.
Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Bucket.
An unbearable silence filled the room,
Oh, no.
lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to harm the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place.
No.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his
Not
arms.
my bucket.
Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least
At least he has the bucket.
At least it's me.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself.
Yeah.
As long as I have my bucket with me, right?
Yes.
I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket.
Yes.
A bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
A delightful bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yes.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
Nope.
upstairs to the boss's office.
We'll now walk downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing
Returned
at all.
his case?
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Oh, no.
This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
No.
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Not my bucket.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to
my
him.
Bucket.
Stanley!
Oh no, my bucket. No.
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his.
Oh, no.
None of them were his special bucket.
Where's my bucket?
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Please.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
No!
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
No. I was the bucket all along.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Now she's the bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh no.
Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
Oh my God.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket.
Oh no, my bucket.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
Oh no.
How cruel the world can be,
Oh.
Mariella thought. And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time
Oh
for
no.
this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance.
True,
and
the
total
bucket knows
clarity on
all.
Everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped
My life.
all the way to work.
She backflipped all the way to work. Honestly, incredible. Alright, chat. I think that's it for us. That's it. Hold on. Let's do this. Okay. Alright. Alright. How many achievements do I got? I got 5 out of 11 achievements. What's the difference between bird flu and swine flu? Bird flu requires a treatment and swine flu an ointment. Good one, Jadane. Good one. It was all just a video game. In the end, it was all just a video game. Damn. Man, I had a lot of fun with this one. This one was really fun. This one was really, really good. Yes, you're welcome. We're gonna find someone to raid. Let me do that, okay? Stick around while I do that. Tomorrow morning... Wait, hold on. Let me... Announcements first. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be playing Prop Night with Gray. We'll be doing 1v1 Prop Night. I don't know how it's gonna work, but it's gonna be fun. And then at 8 p.m. I'll be playing Needy Streamer Overload. So, it's gonna be a fun day of video gaming tomorrow. I haven't seen all the endings. Yeah, I don't think I got to all the endings, honestly. I truly don't think I got to all the endings, so... Yeah. But yeah. Let's see. Thanks for being here with me, guys. It was very fun. I'm glad that we all agreed the bucket is the best. We love the bucket. The bucket is our bestie. Yeah, I've never played it, so I'm excited to. I'm very excited to. Yes, Bucket Psycho! I love Bucket. Me and Bucket are besties. We love Bucket. Alright. Well. Here's my raid command. Sasuga Bucket. Sasuga Bucket. We love Bucket. Alright, we are going to raid into Gur. Gur is playing the first Chrono Trigger game, actually. So, I think that'll be really fun. We love Gur. Gur is lovely and fantastic. So yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Early, or at 8 p.m. Whatever one that you'll be awake for. We'll see you then. And, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you guys have a good night. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye for now. Thank you.